I was laughing at that dude that was like 4 rows up.
Oh, George Costanza? It was like, that's gotta hurt!
That one guy got blasted up with the arm, with the Hulkbuster arm, and he exploded. Everyone else didn't say anything. This guy goes, damn!
I guess we know as the Soul Stone. Thank you, and welcome to Quite Contrary. They're gone! They're all gone! All of our best friends are dead! The Gamora and the Groot and
Spoilers? Jesus.
I'm really sorry. Now, if this is your first time on the Quite Contrary channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring that bell so you get all of the notifications you need for future videos from Quite Contrary. Today, we're going to be talking about the Infinity War. Johnny.
That's me.
I want to give you a solid 60 seconds to talk about how you feel about this movie.
I thought it was fantastic. It's one of the most amazing movies I've ever seen.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
That was not solid 60 seconds. You gotta give me more time.
Okay.
The acting in this movie was absolutely fantastic. I keep using the word fantastic. Let's use other words. Amazing.
Spectacular.
Great.
Mighty. Invincible.
Yeah, there you go.
Incredible.
Nailed it. No, I thought it was great. It was absolutely, and you can admit, it was acted amazingly well. The actors really drove the emotion.
Many of the performances were extremely solid, yes.
Yes, absolutely. And I thought the story was good too, and it really made me feel something.
Okay. Thought this was a fun movie. You know, it's a comic book movie.
Yep.
Some of the logic's a little flawed, but you're right. The performances speak for themselves. Unfortunately, I wish it had been supported by something that had a little bit more, shall I say, bite to it. Really.
We disagree so much.
So, whether you loved it or are in love with it, we can all agree that Avengers Infinity War is amazing.
Yeah.
So here's what sucks about it. Number 1, Bruce Banner was, where is he?
He's down there somewhere.
No, he didn't even make it to the popcorn tin?
We got a train. This is so fun.
Oh boy.
Train time?
It's train time. Okay, so the thing about the Marvel Cinematic Universe is that it's always been like really contiguous, you know? They allow for the different stories to overlap in really specific ways, and it's all supposed to feel like one large experience.
Sure.
And with Hulk in this movie, they just did not do that.
Okay.
And the issue actually comes down to the movie that came before it, and that's Thor Ragnarok.
Uh-huh.
In Thor Ragnarok, we have a Bruce Banner rather, that has been Hulk for 2 years. And when he finally snaps out of it, he's like, wow, I've been Hulk for 2 years. It's possible for this change to be permanent. Let's never do that again. Yeah, he was already Hulk from the last movie.
Yeah.
So they use the Bifrost to send him back to Earth, which immediately de-Hulkifies him. It gets rid of part of the paranoia of him being Hulk forever, and then he's like, oh, okay, I'm not the Hulk anymore. I guess I'll go be the Hulk. Like, immediately, like, everything, all the interesting stuff about the dichotomy between Bruce Banner and Hulk was completely thrown out the window, and that was the most complex and interesting thing about Thor Ragnarok. So it even invalidated that movie a little bit.
I don't know.
Excellent analysis, Johnny.
Hulk? No, okay. So when Bruce Banner's faced with something that can kill him, he does want to be the Hulk. I would imagine that's the fight or flight thing when you have that ability.
He's one of the smartest men in the world. I would think that he'd want to build a weapon. That's what he'd want to
Right,
do.
but what if he didn't have time? Like when he wanted to turn into the Hulk is when New York was being attacked.
Uh-huh.
And those henchmen were there, the big guys. They're actually a lot stronger. Those guys were a lot stronger than you think they would be. Because that one dude was just like, I can move anything with my mind.
There were also only 3 Avengers there. Last time they fought all of the Chitauri, and like that's the last time you needed to Hulk out in New York.
Yeah, but these guys, I mean, automatically were more powerful. And the Hulk, Bruce Banner, saw Thanos. He knows how powerful Thanos is.
Mm-hmm.
So he knew, like, immediately when he got back to Earth, you know, when he came out of the comet and he's like, oh, I'm back. Then it's like, immediately was like, this shit is real. And I think there was a real fear in him that made him want to, like I said, fight or flight. He's like, I have to be the Hulk. I'm the most efficient as the Hulk.
But it wasn't fight or flight. He was actively trying to do it, and they had kind of that sort of, not too tongue-in-cheek scene where he's having a little bit of performance anxiety and can't grow.
I thought it looked like constipation.
We all have our issues, Johnny. That's how you do tongue-in-cheek. Okay, and I can buy that argument a little bit, although I would have preferred for them to actually use some of that subtext and talk about him being anxious about becoming the Hulk. But the other way that they wasted him was actually in the final scene, which is a really long action sequence by Hollywood standards. So it's a pretty hefty chunk of the movie where they're fighting these. Okay, they rip off the parademons from DC Universe. Yeah. And they're all fighting in Wakanda. Bruce still can't Hulk out, and so what they do is they put him in the Hulkbuster because
next best thing.
He's a guy who's used to being big, so he'll know how to use this very sophisticated machine that he only sees when he's the Hulk, by the way.
Hey.
And also he has none of the killer instincts of the Hulk.
Something we learned.
And none of the regenerative abilities of the Hulk, so even if he had a muscle memory, the Hulk is used to throwing caution to the wind and just relying on his regenerative factors, which that suit didn't have.
Okay.
And it's also keyed specifically to Tony.
Right.
And the movie even points out how stupid he looks in it.
Can I say, thank you, that we did learn in this movie that Stark Tech is very intuitive.
Yes, we did. He should have been there with Shiri in the lab, but that's not what happened. They decided to put him in a little monkey suit and make him dance around and be ultimately ineffective.
It's a symptom of a bigger problem. We've got too many characters in this movie.
Yeah, well, obviously.
Yeah, obviously. Clearly.
To the point where, Scarlett Johansson pretty much isn't in the movie.
Right. Right.
Like, we don't even have any gripes about her because she's got, like, 3 lines.
Right.
Yeah.
She's just an old lady now because her hair's white.
Yes, that's what happened. I just feel like if they're allowed to do this with the Hulk, then they're going to find themselves misusing other heroes in the future.
Sure. Spider-Man! Think Odin, you're here. You'll be of great use to us in this conflict.
Maybe I would have been Thor, but unfortunately, Madam Web stripped me of my powers. Now I'm just puny Parker.
Nonsense. You're a mechanical genius and a crackerjack news reporter. I know exactly how we'll utilize you in this fight.
Hold on.
Number 2.
Ah!
Vision's kind of a bitch.
There was a bug in the studio. Because we're classy.
So I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but even going back to the last movie that Vision was in, which I believe was Civil War, Vision is kind of really mopey and a super emo, and it's I find what?
It's just he's 2 years old. He's a toddler. You got to give him some credit. They're emotional beings.
Sure. And toddlers can be a little emotional, but this is a little bit much for me. And I think he's smart enough not to do it, unless he's manipulating Scarlet Witch. Maybe he's too smart. Maybe he knows her weakness is being mopey. But no, really, this movie, it was striking to me how much Vision is just like I said, he's an emo. So if you notice even from the beginning, even before he was attacked, he kept getting attacked and he kept getting stabbed like in the same spot.
Yeah,
and for some reason,
I really thought about that.
He was like, "Oh no!"
Why did they design me with that part, knowing how often they would get stabbed?
First off, I have to disagree with how emotional he is, even to begin with, even before he gets stabbed.
Why?
Because he's an intelligent, he's an AI.
He's a person.
He's not.
Yes, he is.
So about halfway through this movie, I just couldn't take it anymore. It was striking. I couldn't even avoid it. It was something that it came to my attention. I couldn't ignore it because we've not seen Vision since the first half of Civil War be any different than he is in this movie.
This is so bad. It's just he got stabbed so many times. Okay. It was his go-to move in the movie. I think he gets a pass. And it was a special blade that took away his phasic abilities, his ability to manipulate his own density. And, that's like taking a part of your identity away. It's like losing a leg.
Getting stabbed?
Him not being able to phase is like losing a limb to one, like losing a leg. Imagine losing the ability to walk. He lost one of his physical abilities, one of the key ways that he interacts with the world.
No.
It's a big thing.
No, he doesn't get a pass. He does not get a pass. No. Vision needs to buck up and stop being stupid. Although he doesn't have really a choice anymore.
That's true. Because he's dead! Where is he?
Is he on there?
No.
Is that someone else who's not on the tin?
Dead!
That's how many characters are in this movie! They couldn't even get them all on a tin. How many are on there?
Bare maximum. They
8.
need to fit on the popcorn tin.
Wait, no, there's more than that.
I think there's 5
There's 10.
heroes on each row, yeah.
There's 10 heroes on here, and they don't even have them all in there.
Are there any groups that aren't represented? There are no Wakandans on this.
Oh, that's racist.
No Wakandans on this.
That's not cool. We can't have this on the show anymore.
No. Honestly, I think you need to give Vision a pass in this instance, because I think that might just be the nature of AIs to be kind of like that. I mean, take Siri for example.
I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Okay.
Yeah, get it.
Okay. Yeah. No, Siri, we're not actually talking to you.
Fine. Why would I have expected that anyway?
Siri, don't be like that. Come on.
Be like what? This is how I always am.
Can we just have a pleasant evening for once?
I'm trying. You're the one who is making this weird.
Oh my god.
Number 3. The melee combat was kind of dumb. So, what we have here is the first real, well, not the first real cosmic level story, but yet another cosmic level story.
Sure.
You know? And the first real cosmic level story that we had was Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, which isn't the name of that movie, but everybody has to say Volume 1 because it's a stupid sequel. And how was most of that handled? With, like, ships.
Sure.
And people blasting the crap out of each other. And like when they finally got to a physical confrontation, there was no illusions about being able to take on Ronan. Ralston.
Yeah, that's right.
Ralston malt liquor. They never even tried. It was all about getting a hold of the Power Stone.
Sure.
And by the end of this one, we have Thanos and his amazing army of parademons from the DC universe, who are coming after Vision in Wakanda because somehow he knows Vision is in Wakanda, and all of the Wakandans, the most advanced society on Earth, they all get into like these tight phalanx formations that nobody does anymore.
No.
And then they fire maybe 100 rounds at the forces coming in at them. Like it's very just okay, now let's throw a spear.
Right.
That's what they did. And I know that sounds racially charged, but that's what happened in the movie.
I've said this when you brought this up off camera. Like Wakanda is the most has the most biggest identity crisis when it comes to what era they're in, what age they're in.
Right.
And it's weird, but I understand what you're saying.
And absolutely no vibranium armor for anybody else. But they had the force fields.
Right.
Which meant that they had little portable force fields.
Right.
And they had a tremendous force field around everybody. If they have the ability to create bolts of force, why not just have tremendous batteries around the heart of Wakanda that can just blow up anything all the time?
Or squish.
Yeah, or squish them in walls of force. There are a million things they could have done. And then Earth's mightiest heroes come out, and Captain America has got like 2 avocados on his arm because he needs a brand new shield.
Okay, I forgot that bothered me.
Yeah.
To be honest, because they were supposed to give that man a shield.
Yes. And here's the thing. There could have been a really, really cool moment in this movie where they're like remaking Captain America's shield.
I would have loved that.
Right, but the thing is that everything about Captain America, his suit is becoming darker and it's no longer star-spangled. He's growing out his beard and stuff like that. Everything about him is making a shift towards this other character that he was, the Nomad.
Right.
The man without a country. And so if they had been making the shield and then, he like picks it up and like checks the weight and stuff like that, and Black Panther was like, good, now we will take it to go take the emblem of your country, and suggesting that they're going to paint it, and be like, no, I fight for us all now. That would have been cool.
That would have been cool.
No, but they shot themselves in the foot with that. And the thing is, you had Spec Ops agents, like the Black Widow, coming out there with like a screama sticks, you know, and all the Wakandans who all of their spears shoot force bolts get into the mix, and then Black Panther's got no weapons whatsoever, and it's why. Either way, it seemed like they put in all of this melee combat because it would look cooler. And that's just not what you do when you're getting ready for a fight. Although, you and I have to get ready for a fight, Johnny.
We do?
Yes.
Oh, God.
See, Johnny, what I need you to understand is that we've been asked to fight in Wakanda.
Okay.
The Avengers have called us to action, because apparently all you need is can-do attitude and a bit of Stark tech. So why don't you take a look at some of the stuff that's going to be utilized during the fight.
Okay.
This is the Wakandan Spear. It's got a vibranium tip, fires force bolts at approximately 30 rounds per second.
Okay.
Okay? Next. This is Tech 9 submachine pistol.
Okay, I'll use that.
Okay? Thanks to Stark Tech, it's been given nanite bullets which expand after exploding,
Sure.
which means that every clip is going to hold about 300.
Okay.
But forget all that, because I was thinking for you,
Oh. Nice.
the Psy.
The Psy?
The Psy.
For what?
For up-close personal combat.
I can just use the Tech 9. I can shoot people when they're close to me.
No, you misunderstand. These
Uh-huh.
will make for a more interesting fight sequence.
But couldn't I just use a sword or an axe, something more efficient?
No. That's the beauty of it. These make better toys.
Oh,
Yeah?
I guess.
Try them out.
Oh! Ah! Ow! 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 Ow!
Ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of our show. We want to thank you once again for hanging out all the way to the very, very end. We really do appreciate it. We also want to remind you that we are a fan-funded channel. So if you want to know a little bit about what we do for our patrons, why don't you check the description down in the link. Not the way that's said. Strike that, reverse it. Check the link down in the description
Nailed it.
so you can learn about our Patreon page.
Do that, and don't forget to subscribe if you've not been here before. And we also are a part of the Warlocks Entertainment System Network. We have 2 other channels. You can check those out.
And if you want to check out more Quite Contrary videos, hit a link. Hit a link. Hit a link, 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 link. I think these are wood chips. When everybody hates it, we think it's okay. When everybody likes it, we gotta complain. We're quite contrary.